Hello, hello, and welcome. I am so delighted to join you this evening or whenever you are tuning into this to drop into the beautiful full moon and Aquarius energies that we are experiencing right here, right now. And I just can't wait to see what comes up tonight and what is coming up for all of you. So if you are joining me live, please feel free to say hi in the chat. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to let me know what comes up for you as well. So, just in case you are stumbling across me for the first time, I am Safrianna Lughna, the Queer Spirit Guide. I have been doing moon circles for so many years now. I couldn't even put a number on it at this point, and I am just so happy that this is what my heart called me to do as my free offering to put out in the world because it feels so good to join with whoever wants to do moon circle work together and to really have the opportunity to take the energy in our own space and do what we want to do with it. So, welcome again. And all you need for these experiences yourself, ideally, is a notebook and a pen. I have my moon journal here, and keeping a moon journal is so helpful. Just want to speak to that for a moment. It's so helpful because we begin to notice with the new moon and the full moon, when we really use those as an opportunity to drop in, we start to notice so many different patterns and themes that are arising in our life. So it's always a great tool for me to go back and just kind of figure out like what was going on in Safriana's life at these significant moments in time. So you are welcome to join me here on new moons and full moons every month. And it's a delight. So, as I said, we have a full moon in Aquarius tonight, and it is bringing in all kinds of energy, my friends. So, we're going to talk about what I am noticing there, going to give a little bit of an update from the perspective of Tamara Childs, who is one of my dear friends and my favorite astrologer. And then I will guide you to set some intentions. We'll do some energy clearing around those intentions. Then we'll drop into a meditation visualization that you can receive however you want. And then we will wrap things up with a collective card reading. So let's get started. This moon helped me learn something new. I have not really been that into the zodiac until the last 2 years when I started publicly running moon circles, and then I was like, okay, I want to bring in the zodiac to kind of get to know it more and really get into the symbolism of each moon. And with that, I'm always researching what other astrologers are saying and just learning new stuff. And I learned that tonight's moon is a different kind of blue moon. So I always knew the blue moon as a second full moon in a given calendar month. But apparently, there is another type of blue moon, which is the third full moon in a season where there are four full moons. So, fun new fact, tonight is actually considered a blue moon, but a different kind. It is the kind that is seasonally based instead of monthly. So, we've just got all of these interesting uh, sort of energies that are colliding with this full moon. And of course, I want to remind everybody that we are still in Mercury retrograde, which really means that even though there's all this fruition energy that's here with the full moon right now, we're still slowing down, we're still revising, we're still revisiting things. We're not so much like we probably haven't been starting new things much over the last few weeks, or if we tried to start something new, we might have noticed some interesting energy coming up around it. Maybe it felt more challenging to really get started or get going. Maybe it just failed to launch, right? If that's the case, be gentle with yourself because now is really cosmically a great time for revisiting and revising, not so much starting new. So, Tamra writes that it's a lot that we are being asked to manage energetically right now, and I couldn't agree more. She says, you are realizing many things about your past and how you need to change your life for a new future. A full moon is always a moment of fruition, and we're in a T-square of nervous energies with this one. This creates a whirligig of what should I do. It feels crunchy, or if it feels crunchy, it only indicates lots of growth in different directions, compelling you to make a choice. So make a choice and remember that you can't get it wrong. This theme, I just want to pause there. This theme has been coming up big time for me today. It has been coming up for people over the last few weeks. I've really noticed like it's time to make some choices, but the universe is still guiding us where we need to go. You can't get this wrong. As long as you choose, you decide, and you move forward with your joy and your focus in mind, you can't get it wrong. All right, so Tamara continues, it's okay to rest, relax, and let it all come in. It's okay if things fall away too. These cycles are like waves that crest and fall, but the ocean never ends. So she says that for herself, when there's tension like this, a part of her recoils and it's a signal to take care of the nervous system. So I'm really going to be borrowing on this today as we drop inward and we go to clear our energy. She says that it's a great time to intentionally move from the mind and the brain down into the body and to ground the energy because it's just so much. So we're like a lightning rod for energy, and it is time for us to discharge some of that excess energy. So, full moon in Aquarius. Of course, Aquarius has so much forward thinking energy, so much momentum, especially around collective freedoms, original thinking, insights, breakthroughs, right? This really forward thinking air sign that is all about us progressing as a collective and moving away from the traditions that really don't serve us. So I'd love for you to just think about if there are any traditions or things that you've been doing that are habitual that maybe aren't serving you anymore, because now is a excellent time to release it and to step into inviting in a new energy. With this being the sturgeon moon, so the sturgeon, these are big, beautiful, sleek silver fish, and the sturgeon moon was associated with many Native American stories about it being the moon where the sturgeon were easiest to catch, most plentiful. And so we get the energy of this summer into fall transition of really harvesting and having abundance and seeing growth and expansion and that transition point between the seasons. So it's all happening right now. So many things. So take a deep breath and just see what is here for you. Do you have an intention for a new way of being? Do you have an intention for something that is a tradition that you just don't want to carry with you? I'm going to post some intention setting statements right in the chat for you. And you can look at these and see if they inspire or kick off any intentions that you have for this full moon phase moving into the new moon ahead. So we'll pause here, write down some intentions. And just for some ideas, you might say, I'm ready to. In the coming weeks, I will. I am becoming, I let go of. However, you want to start this I statement that really brings home the focal point of this full moon for you. And you're welcome to share those now or later. And I'm going to do this with you. So I'm going to go ahead and write mine down. And there's no right or wrong with this ever. So, my intention is I am becoming the author I was meant to be. I am releasing patterns, programs, and people who require me to make myself small. So, again, there's no right or wrong with this, just whatever's coming up for you. And again, these are just your touch points, right? That notebook is there, or whatever journal that you use when you really get into moon circles is there just to be able to look back and see the growth, see what you were able to overcome, what you were able to manifest, etc. So we're going to jump into some energy clearing. And with this energy clearing, I'm just going to invite you to breathe. But if you have something that you would like to clear your own energy with in your space, smoke cleansing, mist, sound, whatever, you are welcome to do so. So just breathing here, beginning to really focus on the inhale, calling yourself back home, and the exhale, releasing anything that is not truly yours, that doesn't belong in your system. Got a good bit of smoke going here now. All right. So we're just going to release here, sighing out the breath, beginning to notice in the body any areas of tension, holding, gripping. And where possible, we're just going to imagine we're flowing the breath into that area of the body to loosen, to release. We're releasing outdated patterns, outdated ways of being, traditions that we don't even know where they came from and they're not really for us. Releasing patterns, behaviors, traditions that are not for us. Making space and room to bring in new energy, new ideas, innovation. Releasing anything that wishes to hold us back, keep us small, keep us silent, keep us from those new ideas. Releasing. Again, inhale brings you back home. Exhale lets go of anything that doesn't belong to you. And I'm just gathering us up collectively. Anyone who is ready to release, releasing only that which is in the highest good, releasing only that which has already imparted its lessons. Releasing. And just again, seeing if there's any areas of tension in the body. And I invite you to just wiggle it out if you can. Just wiggle that tension out. Maybe shake the hands, shake the arms out. Maybe a nice emphatic sigh. And we're really going to take a moment here. Eyes can be opened or closed. That is always, you're always sovereign here. But to really feel the brain, the mind buzzing, to feel the energy moving, to feel things clearing out, and to transition from thinking about that to just rooting down into the earth, sending roots from your sits bones, sending roots from your feet, however you want to send roots down, but just feel your connection to the earth. And we're going to finish this release by just sending anything down into the earth that is ready to transform, to grow, to change, to alchemize, sending anything we're ready to release down into the earth to be transformed into a new form, to be released back to universal energy. Oh, yeah, I really felt that anchor go down deep. So remember that releasing is a continual process. You will always come back to the process of releasing. There is no one and done, and that is okay. That is part of this journey of coming home again and again and again. So we're going to move into a time of guided visualization, meditation, downloads, however you want to receive this or take it. Just some words to sort of prepare you. Again, you can receive this eyes opened, eyes closed, laying down, sitting up, dancing, sketching in your sketchbook. There is no right or wrong way to receive this. You can follow my guidance and follow the imagery that is coming up that I channel, or not. Go off on your own grand adventure. I will be dropping in and channeling what comes up. So there is a chance I may speak in what is called light language or glossolalia. If you if you hear me speaking in non-English language, those are just sound and frequency transmissions meant to either activate, release, or clear something that was probably said on either side of the the non-English words. All right. So go ahead and find yourself however you are going to begin. And we will begin as we always begin, by just taking another nice breath in and exhale. And beginning the process of breathing with your beautiful being here at your own perfect pace. As we drop from the head and the thinking mind down into the heart center, down into the spaciousness within your chest, releasing the need to think or analyze and instead to receive, to feel. And I invite you to recall a recent or just very powerful, loving moment, whether with a pet, a child, an animal in nature, a loved one, nature itself. Just tuning in to an unconditionally loving moment. And allowing that feeling of love to expand through your chest. Allowing that feeling of love to roll down your shoulders, down your arms, to your fingertips. For that love to flow up to your crown and down to your root. And as this love expands, so too does a portal open within the heart space, a portal looking out over a beautiful body of water, lake, stream, ocean, doesn't matter. But you see yourself standing before this portal. And as you are ready, you can step through into this nature sanctuary, beginning to hear, sense, feel, see, however you take this in, the waterway before you. And the full moon is overhead, shining down on the water. Whether day or night or evening, somewhere in between, you can see the reflection of the moon, her luminous fullness in fractal white beams on the surface of the water. Just taking a moment to notice what it's like to both receive the moonlight directly, as well as to see it changing and moving on the water's surface. And just pause here, breathing and being. Breathing and being. And you can feel this sense of opening, of expansion. There's something in the air. It's almost an electricity. This brimming possibility. Something is shifting, something is changing, growing for you. And you might be very aware of what I'm speaking to. And if you're not, just know that there is this energy of change, innovation, growth. But either way, just taking a moment to acknowledge the energies of change, of growth, transformation, and expansion. Again, soaking in the full moon beams directly and seeing it constantly changing as the water flows in front of you, whether you're seeing waves or a running river or even a fairly calm lake. The reflection of the moon is different and ever changing in the reflections on the water. Life is like this. But even as things are changing, we can anchor into our truth. We can anchor into our strengths, our gifts, our ideas. So perhaps you find yourself walking along the waterside, maybe just noticing how far you can see the water in the distance, seeing this relationship as you move with the reflection of the moon on the surface, noticing as you change perspectives, how things around you change too. And as you walk along, you find an empty vase, some sort of empty vessel, like Aquarius, the water bearer, might use. So take a moment to observe your vase and pick it up. See if you can strap it to your back or sling it on your hip or just carry it in your arms. But take this vase, this vessel with you as you continue to walk and observe. You might even imagine as you are walking along that the moonlight is filling it up, beginning to strengthen this container. And tonight, this container represents the expansive quality that you have to embrace and build yourself up with your gifts. So as you walk along the shore, as you walk along the bed, the bank, this body of water, you begin to find little objects. They might be completely natural or they might be entirely symbolic. But little gifts, little messages about you, your brilliance, your ideas, your innovation, how you are a forward thinker, how you are changing and doing things differently. So we'll have some moments of silence for you to walk, to observe, to see what symbols or objects might represent your uniqueness. And you collect them and put them into your vase. So in the silence, walking, collecting, putting into your vase these symbols of your gifts, of your talents, of your innovation, what makes you uniquely you in the silence. And just know that if you're walking along and you're not quite sure, is that really mine? Remember that you wouldn't be shown it if it wasn't for you. And if you find the mind drawing a blank, be with it. You are unique, you are innovative, and you have important gifts and qualities to bring to yourself and others. Just allowing a few more moments here to allow any messages to surface. And then with this vase or vase, vessel in hand, whether you filled it with some other objects or not, the water calls to you to fill up your vase with this body of water, with the reflections of the moon, with the magic present, brimming here and now. So, sensing, seeing, feeling yourself kneeling down to begin to collect water, filling up all the spaces around your gifts, all the spaces around those symbolic objects, holding this water, completely holding them. You can imagine they're all waterproof, but the water is just showing that there is no space between your gifts and the universe, between this body of water, between love, between flow. Your gifts are completely supported, safe, and held here in this vessel. So, just taking some moments to fill up your vase and to connect with the universal power, with the energy of water, with the moon, with your gifts, collectively, here and now, feeling, holding, integrating. Kushtesaya katayo emanayishtaraya kotadaya katasta mayoshtuya kastananayo kotayashta. Huakatayo mananaya katashtuya katasya manaka. Watikshtuinama hyana tayoshtanana hyana huana hya kyoto imanashti. Breathing and being here as you connect with your gifts, the universal powers, water, unconditional love, Grandmother Moon and her beams. Hyatatayushtuimananayakata, hyananiyushtuninayakatauimanahanoa, yaniyakatatayushtumakawapata, hyakuishtananayokata. Breathing and being. Receiving, filling up your own vessel, your own container, your own full body beingness with the energy here in front of you, here and now, the power of this unconditional love, of universal flow, this body of water like your own blood. You are unique, you are brilliant, you are beautiful, you are innovative, and you have so many important messages, ideas, brilliance to share with yourself, with others, with the world around you. Bringing it home, really planting this in your heart center. As we prepare to return, you might even see that vase in your arms beginning to shrink down, almost like a miniature figurine. All of that beautiful cosmic energy, all of that moon juice, all of it just shrunk down right in your heart center, like a little miniature figurine, knowing you can access it at any time, access these gifts, this love, this flow, the moon blessed water. Just seeing that planted firmly, a seed in your heart. And as you look back out to the water, you see fish jumping in the distance as if cheering you on. And just take a moment to feel the abundance of blessings all around you, knowing that here in this moment you are safe, supported, and loved, and your dreams are seen. Your desires are seen. You are seen. And then, as you are ready, turning back, finding the portal, giving gratitude once more to the moon, to the body of water, to your own Aquarius vase, your own inner water bearer. Gratitude to yourself for showing up to do the work, and then stepping through that portal back into the body, beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes and incorporate some more movement back in. And if the eyes are closed, you can gently open them when you are ready. All right. I had to throw in that they can be waterproof because one of my things was a book that went into my vase full of water. Gotta love how things can happen on the astral plane or in the other world. They just can't happen in real life. So I would love to hear anything that came up for you. Of course, you can send me a DM. You never have to comment publicly. That's part of what I love about this format is it really allows you to receive, to not have to out yourself, to not have to do anything that you don't want to do. But we are going to go ahead and draw some cards for the collective here. And all right, we want one more. I'm drawing tonight from the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. And this is another one by my bestie, Kyle Gray. You are so welcome, Nettie. I've been really feeling these portals of light coming up big time lately. And if you're familiar with my work, you know I'm basically portal obsessed. And it's something that I love to teach people about because portals are accessible to us anytime, anywhere. Most of them. Some are gated by 3D time experience and some of them are not. So these gateways of light are all basically portals. So let's see what portals we're being called through as we continue this work of Aquarius and really receiving our gifts of letting our fullness come through, all of it. All right, our first one. I have a soapbox about this one that I want to go on. So, memories of Atlantis. I'm going to sidestep a little bit here for a moment because there's something that I really want to say with this that I feel like the collective needs to hear at this time. Atlantis had a lot of trauma. Whether you believe Atlantis to be a civilization that was here on Earth, or in my case, that Atlantis was its own civilization elsewhere, another planetary body with souls that fled to Earth, Atlantis holds trauma. Atlantis holds a lot of trauma codes. And a lot of what I think we're seeing, this is again my belief, is that a lot of the trauma that's coming up with us collectively right now is because we have not resolved a lot of the trauma that came in with people with lifetimes in Atlantis. So we're seeing this with the really unhealthy relationship with technology, with the really unhealthy relationships with AI, all of it. It really has to do with this too. So aside from that, again, stepping back in, portals collectively here, this portal is really asking us to think about our own memories and what we need to move on from, what we need to let go of, what memories are running the show and are actually keeping us stuck in the past, stuck in outdated ways of thinking, and just not accelerating spiritually the way that we could. And spiritually, top down here, right? Spirituality needs to be grounded and rooted in the body. It needs to be grounded through the body, or we get a little chaotic. So, how do we do this? We really reach for that inner holy grail. The portal of the inner holy grail is really just anything having to do with stepping into inner discovery. Every time that we step into inner discovery, we find the holy grail. I love that the meditation visualization was like filling up our own vase or our own container. That's the holy grail, right? It's our gifts and then the universal powers that be, the laws of physics, if you will, the quantum mechanics, all of that are the water filling in the spaces between, making it possible for us to use our gifts. So keep leaning into that. Keep leaning into your inner discovery and what are the gifts that you are here to share because you are what you seek. And this is when I work with clients, that's what this is all about. Is you are what you seek. No one else can give you the answer that is true for you. You will find it. So keep searching, right? It's a time of innovation, of change, of revisiting and revising. So go back to the drawing board and see what memories you need to release, what traumas you need to release to move forward. And know that we are in a time of leveling up. So the Merkaba activation here, I'm really feeling called to just, I'm going to hold this up again. Okay. So if you're not familiar with the symbol, the Merkaba, this is a three-dimensional uh, symbol, basically two pyramids, three-dimensional pyramids that are sort of overlaying, one pointing up, one pointing down. You can picture yourself, take a moment right here, right now, to picture yourself in the center of these two pyramids and to feel the energy coming down from the heavens, up from the earth, connecting with you here in the middle of this sacred space. This is here. This activation is here to remind you that you are rising up, you are leveling up, that you are moving through the change, that there is so much more room for you to grow, expand, etc. And it's going to work out, even if right now, because again, right now it feels really, really just wild out there. But you have the means to keep moving forward and designing life in your image. So don't hesitate to release. If you feel ready to release, you're being called to release right now. If you need a little more support, find your support. But it's a great time to embrace this inner discovery and really start to let some of this old stuff go. So I hope that this was nourishing for you. What I really take away from tonight is, yeah, it's time. It's time to move away from old paradigms. It's time to move away from traditions that don't make any sense. And it is time for us to revisit and revise, right? In this Mercury retrograde full moon, super moon, blue moon, all of these things converging are just like, pay attention, do the work, go deep, you can do it. And I am here cheering you on. So I will be back in just a few weeks for our new moon ceremony. And that will be, I believe, Monday, September 2nd is when we will meet live. So if there is anything I can do to support you in the meantime, please feel free to reach out. And if this is supportive to you, I have two things I want to share. One is that we now have a opt-in. I'm going to post the link. If you want to be notified in advance of when these calls are going to be, you can sign up for that and it will send you some emails reminding you that we're coming up to a moon ceremony and where you can meet me live to find that. And of course, if this is helpful for you and you have the means and desire to do so, please feel free to donate at safrianna.com/donate so I can keep doing these incredible things with you all. All right. Have a beautiful night, my friends. And again, if you're catching the replay, feel free to reach out. Let me know what came up for you. And just know that I am holding you in so much love and so much peace. And may we all find more ease and more innovation.